Yeah,
So
Dark Data. You could meet my uncle. You just gotta go to Sega, and you gotta be like, "Hey, inheritance uncle, is are they here?" And they're gonna be like, "Who are you? Get out of here!" And that's code to then go to the closest McDonald's and get a meal, and then you just sit there and you eat your meal, and then you fly back to your house, go to sleep, and in your dreams, my uncle will show up and explain things to you.
wait,
It's a very
wait,
convoluted process.
wait. In your dreams, is your
In their
uncle
dreams.
Igor? Does he exist between dreams and
Ah,
reality? Mind and
ah,
matter?
ah.
Dang, you have the coolest uncle.
Oh, my uncle's so cool. Gosh, I've never really met someone who really did that whole. My uncle works at blank. I'm so glad I didn't, because like I would have been the most gullible child. I would have been like, checks out,
Oh no,
checks out.
I had a friend in grade school. It wasn't necessarily uncle, but he knew somebody that worked at the
Yeah,
Nintendo, and he told me all about how Golden Sun was gonna be part of a trilogy. The second one was gonna be Golden Moon, and the third one was gonna be Golden Afternoon. And his friend's
Golden
friend,
afternoon.
his friend was related to somebody at Nintendo, and that's how they found out. And I was like, I even when I knew him and I was 12, mentally I was like that you're full of shit there. That's not true. But
Golden afternoon. That's
but you're
so
also
funny.
one of my closest friends, so I'm not gonna call you out. I'll just let you take
Well,
it.
to be fair, Persona dancing games really did hit us with Golden Star Night. So I guess I'm not one to talk.
Yeah, but so I kind of knew that type of person, and
Did I
so
say Golden Star Night? I meant Dancing Star Night. Dancing
fair.
Star Night is the Persona 5 one, actually.
I thought that
Dancing
was
Moon
dancing.
Night.
I thought it was Dancing in the Stars or Dancing in the Moonlight or something.
It's Dancing All Night is Persona 4. Dancing Moonlight is Persona 3. Dancing Star Night is Persona 5.
You're probably right. But
Persona 5.
dancing in
Star
Dancing
Night.
in Starlight. It's
Well,
Dancing in Starlight.
it's yeah. Well, that might be the English one then, because the Japanese, it's the whole scrambles versus Persona 5 strikers versus scramble.
Well, yeah, and I mean, does Japanese what is in? What part of speech is in? Does Japanese even have
Conjunction?
that? Is that a conjunction?
I don't know. It is in Spanish. I'll tell you that. I know my conjunctions in Spanish. I don't know them in English.
I don't know if Japanese even has an equivalent of that.
From what I know, no. Considering there's not even traditional pronouns either. So
Yeah, so
yeah.
I would consider that somewhere between translation and localization anyways of the same thing. So
Yeah, well, the games are. That's their Japanese name is Dancing Star Night. It's not in Japanese.
well, yeah,
it's
because
English words.
yeah, but they're still going to use Japanese grammar.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
They're just borrowed words. What's the word?
Loan words.
Loan words. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
that's fair. That's fair.
When we use loan words from other language, we don't adopt their grammar. We just put them into our English grammar. So, and then it sounds
Yeah.
awful. And then we say stuff
Yeah.
like non-bread. And
Naan bread and chai tea and mercy bucket.
good morning.
Well, I'm still vibing. I'm still going off of vibes because you never shared the game, so I wasn't even aware that the game was up.
Frick.
I'm like, oh, this is just the podcast portion of the stream, I guess.
There. You should see now.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't realize the game was up. I'm just like, oh,
You missed
I lit-
Apollo saying good morning, and that's it.
yeah, that's fair. So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W. But not like right. Right? We're on your side. You can tell us anything. Please. Is that me?
It says Vera.
I forgot if I voiced her.
Oh yeah, you voiced her.
Yeah, no, you were when you said Brushel the other day, I was like, yep, the other day, was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what that is. I really
Which is
did.
for the
It
best.
wasn't a bit.
Which is for the best.
Yeah.
I wish I
So
did.
yeah, I totally forgot who I voiced, but good morning.
Thank you so much, because as soon as I saw that text, I don't know why, but Uncle Grandpa's voice popped into my head.
Oh, I couldn't even do Uncle Grandpa. Wait, let me see if I can remember what Uncle Grandpa sounds like in the inner
Good
recesses of my
morning.
darkness. Good morning. Good morning.
You do. That's a little closer to Kermit.
Ew.
The main thing is you're getting the like intonation wrong. It's like, good morning.
Oh,
No.
it's a very, as you know, Uncle Grandpa's a very tonal language. You gotta know your tones. Yeah, I don't remember. I couldn't tell you what Uncle Grandpa sounds like.
I don't know, but that's like his catchphrase is "good morning," so I don't know why that popped in my head. Yeah, he says "good morning."
Oh yeah.
That's how he greets any time of day, anything. Just good morning.
Trust if I could remember Uncle Grandpa, I would have done an Uncle Grandpa.
Listen, I am cursed with remembering all the things I wish I couldn't. Uncle Grandpa,
Clearly.
Brushel, like
Yeah, your inability to forget is like completely in opposition of my ability to forget everything almost immediately.
no, I have an awful memory for anything that matters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then I'm the opposite. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember, 17 years ago, I stepped on a bee.
That doesn't matter.
It's like, how is that useful?
She speaks.
Not bad. But I think you do better with a little smile, Oh,
Trucy,
God,
that's
Trucy,
toxic.
Toxic femininity, like women hating women. Oh no, Trucy! No. Ugh. You gotta respect women, Trucy.
Unfortunately,
they don't owe
you still have to
anything.
voice the line, even if Trucy's being toxic.
You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself,
That
You'd
had
be
big.
prettier if you smile.
That had
and
big
more
Regina.
makeup.
That had big Regina energy.
Yeah, big Regina George energy.
So
So you admit it. You're pretty. You think you're pretty. Oh, okay.
Trucy, let's take it easy for starters. That was very rude.
Apollo supporting women. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking my case.
There, she's smiling more happy.
I love it.
Okay. Well, that's a start, I guess. There she goes with the nail polish again.
Are we supposed to understand that to be her actual hand, or does she have a statue that she's
That
putting
can't be
nail
her
polish
hand.
on?
We see her hands.
Well, that's what I mean.
That's
like,
not
I don't
even
understand.
like that's not even the right shape to her fingers.
Because Apollo said last time, I remember this, that like she was putting nail polish on,
Yeah, I
and
don't.
it's like
have we
why
seen?
didn't they just animate that?
Have we
if it's
seen
their
that
actual
image
hand?
anywhere? I don't think we've seen that either. Like, it's not like they're reusing an image.
Yeah. Data, have you cracked the code? Do you know? Is that a glove? I don't know what that is.
It looks like a statue to me or something, or a trophy.
It does look like a statue.
Because, like, the wrist, like, there's that gap.
Oh! I think you're right. I think that's a bottle of nail polish.
That's the most excessive, like, that bottle
I
had
think that's a bottle of nail polish.
that bottle
Oh
has
my
got to
God.
cost more to make than the nail polish.
Where I have bottles. Don't worry about it. Y'all know what a bottle of nail polish looks like. I think Dark Data's right. I think that's a bottle of nail polish.
Why is there a hand?
It's like a little design.
I mean, you're probably right, Dark Data. I just think it's ridiculous, but I guess this game runs on ridiculous, so...
Yeah. That's great, really. It's so cultured. Crystal doesn't have any nail polish on. Unless she's doing like clear nail polish.
Maybe she do. They just said she's doing her nails. Maybe she's doing her toenails.
Want to try?
Also, why did you draw the same drawing twice in a row? You could have just
flipped to the previous page.
You wouldn't have had to flip to it. It would be out.
Yeah. Ooh, really?
Girls. The victim, Drew Misham, was a forger. Drew Mishima was a forger.
God, I wish.
And a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really. And maybe one that led to his death. Capturing the moment, emotions of the moment.
Yeah, we're just so uncultured that we can't understand the subtle nuances and the different version of the smiley faces to indicate the different emotions.
Well, we will now
Oh no, he has incuritis.
begin the trial of Misham.
Does he actually have incuritis?
I don't know what's going on.
Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy. He's looking around all nervous like.
I just tested positive for COVID, but I can still work. I mean,
Yikes.
I have a mask in my pocket, so it should work out, right?
It's practically wearing it.
The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time. I joke, it's not in my pocket. I actually lost the mask in my beard. I can't find it anymore. It's gone. It's in the beard dimension.
Gross.
It may indeed alter our legal system forever.
Today is a test of the jury system. And the first step in a new order in our courts. Daddy's secret mission.
That's not even, that's like what, Justice League? I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, I don't even. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or the League of whatever, the Super Friends, the one that was like the Thor, like from the Dexter's Laboratory universe. You know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely, is that Secret Squirrel?
It's like Captain America, Thor, and Hulk, but like
that's DC.
Discount versions of them.
Secret Squirrel? I don't know Secret Squirrel's theme or anything, so it's been too long.
The jurors will function like a jury. I would hope the jurors function like a jury. Clavier, are you listening to yourself?
But it's not a jury, it's a jurist.
The group of jury duty like people are called the jurists. If you are a jury member, you're a jurist. They will function as a jury. It is hoped the inclusion will help the court to better reflect the people's will.
Maybe it's not a jury, though. Maybe they function like a jury, but they're not quite the same as a jury.
Yeah.
Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom?
I was gonna joke to go continue the vibe off of your mask thing. Oh, for heads, they are social distancing. They are remotely viewing the case through a camera from their homes.
But we're all exposed, so...
Yeah, but we tested negative, except for the judge here, apparently.
Well, I mean, surprise, it's a COVID party.
Oh! Too soon! Too soon! Three close-circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurors have access to everything that transpires. It has nothing to do with the fact that we didn't want to create another screen for this one case in the game. Jurors, Judge Vel and Judge Cool.
Now, see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that.
You're going to Judge Vel and Judge Cool? Ah, my apologies, Judge.
Jurors, today, judge today's trial coolly, if you'd be so kind.
The jurists are unbound by the letter of the law.
Cringe.
They don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings.
I wanna date this stream so badly by using current references to people's disposition, but I won't.
And we're about to find out just what effect they're going to have.
Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. The details of the case, if you would.
The victim is the painter Drew Misham. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned by whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant, Vera Misham. Objection?
Objection. That's leading.
We already established his coffee wasn't poisoned.
Also leading statement.
Also leading statement.
There wasn't any poison in the coffee.
Thank you, Apollo. Achtung. Someone has been doing their homework. So Clavier is just boldly lying, hoping that he doesn't get caught.
No, he's not. He's wording it vaguely, intentionally.
He said there's poison in the coffee. His coffee was poisoned.
His coffee was poisoned. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not vague. That's saying the coffee was poisoned.
Well, what do you got to say? The coffee cup was poisoned?
He was poisoned. That's it. That's all he had to say. He was poisoned.
Yeah, but that's less of a leading statement. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And we have a jury now, so like leading statements are more effective.
Yeah.
Also more illegal, but I guess maybe they don't have a law for that yet.
Yeah. They haven't reinvented the law for that. Indeed, the poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself.
The mug? Ah, residue was found on the rim, I see.
The autopsy report describes the manner of our victim's death.
The court accepts this as evidence.
The autopsy report is outdated, even though I'm the one who supplied it, but we'll cover that later.
According to this report, the victim's death was caused by atroquinine poisoning. I think that's what it's called. I've never read this word out loud before.
A chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 in milligrams.
It's made by Virginian cocoons.
Who would have thunk it? A touch of atroquinine in the body is the touch of the Reaper's scythe.
Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. You present your witness.
Oh, Emma! I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. It's not Emma. It's almost always Emma first.
Well, they're not starting with the detective.
Oh, surprising. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. Ugh.
That journalist, no doubt.
Did the game just go widescreen?
What?
I feel like the game, like, maybe I just, like, blanked out, but, like, I feel like the game just got widescreen on me. Like, it was, like, it feels more cinematic.
If it did, it's just on your end. Nothing changed here.
Yeah, maybe I just, like, noticed, like, I'm terrible at noticing things, apparently. The witness will state his name and occupation.
He said he was a food critic. Can you give him the poison coffee mug? No, we had to start with that.
God. Ugh.
All right. Just a minute. Let me just checking for breast cancer.
Oh, God. At least he's not checking for testicular cancer.
I can do that after.
No, Brushel. Like, it's important for men to do both, but Like, please, not in public.
I'm always in public. Well, for starters, my name's Spark Brushel. My job is a lone observer of the world.
Oh, God. Oh.
In other words, a freelance journalist, right?
Ahem! If you don't mind, let's state something for the record. Is this a lump?
Oh wait, this is my ink. Never mind.
Like, it'd be one thing if he was just unpleasant to look at, but even the things he says are unpleasant.
Things I'm making up that he says, or the things he actually does say?
Both.
Okay.
But like, it's not even in like a malicious way. I don't think he's a bad person. I just think.
Oh, I think he's a bad person. Like,
I think he's gross. I don't think he's done anything yet to present himself other than like libel, I guess.
I sincerely want him to be the killer so that he can get the death sentence, because then the world doesn't need to look at him again.
Well, fair, but again, like, he hasn't done anything objectively, as far as I'm aware, because I haven't played the game, that would make him a bad person, other than, again, just like wildly extrapolating information and like stretching the truth, which is like scummy, but like not evil.
Before you popped into the chat, before you came into stream, I said to the chat that I think the only character that makes me more uncomfortable in the series is Salmonella. And I think Brushel makes me more uncomfortable than Director Hottie.
That's fair.
Like,
Salmonella would make me more uncomfortable if not for the fact that he reminds me of the chameleon from the Super Paper Mario game.
I mean, the worst thing is that he drools when like talking to like Maya and stuff. Yeah. Minor. And he's like, unfortunately, hot girl and stuff. So, yeah, no. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Salmonella is guilty of some crimes, and like I wouldn't feel bad getting him just holding him responsible for, like, I would have rather him get responsible for the murder in that case and not what was her name? Dee Vasquez.
Yeah.
Not that Dee Vasquez was innocent, but anyways.
Yes, Mr. Brushel. I dislike conclusions, specifically the aspect of jumping to conclusions.
Says you.
Preconsumptions make park sandbox of endless desert waste. End quote.
What? What did you just say? I don't know.
Preconceptions make park sandbox a desert of waste?
Endless desert waste. I don't know what he's saying there.
Preconceptions make park sandbox of as endless desert waste.
That's not a journalist. Even if you could parse what that means, a journalist shouldn't be wording articles like that. Nobody would understand what it's saying.
Yeah, no, this is like
you need to write to the lowest common denominator when you're writing journalism.
Yeah, this is like that random stuff that like TikTok, like mindfulness gurus like post on the internet, like daily affirmations.
But you are a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday.
Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today a man with a dream.
Huh?
I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story.
You don't have the ability to do that. You don't have the right to do that.
Yeah.
Scoop turned Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel, end quote.
Oh, he's so gross.
Let's hear your testimony then, shall we?
Simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. How can somebody carry a toothbrush yet be so disgusting?
I mean, his teeth are immaculate from what I can tell.
Given I think he uses the toothbrush on his head too. I'm not sure. Like, you can use whitening and have your teeth in poor condition, probably.
I visited the studio around 9 o'clock that night to do the interview. Also, I wear dentures.
That would explain it.
The first outsider to enter the atelier. journalistic history made, end quote.
Ooh, Atelier.
His daughter brought
Shout out
us
to
coffee
the-
right after we started. It was in a barrel.
In a barrel. Oh, that's a reference. You don't even know the reference.
I know the reference. I don't understand the reference.
You're just like, yeah, Atelier people do love them barrels.
Listen, I played like what, a dozen hours or something of one of them. Like,
Yeah.
I played enough to see barrel stuff. I just don't understand it.
Oh gosh, the Atelier franchise, the thing that looks like the worst shovelware that's actually kind of a competent game series that ends up just being shovelware. It's terrible. Like sorry, I got just a quick tiny 3-second rant. When DLC costs more than the game, that's a problem. Okay, that's the end of the rant.
Fire Emblem, 3DS games, all of them.
Fire Emblem, all of them.
I think Echo's DLC cost more like than twice the price of the game or something.
Yeah, Shadows of Valencia, I think it was like one of them was like $90 if I remember correctly.
I think it had 2 seasons of 2 season passes, like 2 seasons of content, and it was ridiculous. Yeah. Thankfully they stopped that with Switch Fire Emblems and have reasonably priced DLC. But
yeah,
the 3DS ones were horrible.
Yeah, they're like locked behind the final tier of your like classes levels to DLC. It was pretty scummy.
Well, and then some of them were just really dumb. Like, here's a map for like $6. You'll get to see, I guess, beach art. Like,
oh yeah, the beach art ones.
Here's gold grinding DLC for another $6. Here's experience grinding DLC for another $6. They're worse than Atlas's pricing for DLC or Square Enix with like their grinding DLC. Like, because I just saw that I'm playing Dragon Quest Monsters Dark Prince and like I got the one free piece of DLC and the others are just like, this is like $21 for like 3 things.
No, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
For Mana Chemia?
Mana Chemia is the sister series to the Ateliers.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, the Mana Chemia series usually follows a male protagonist, though, which is kind of, there's only been one male protagonist for the Atelier ones.
Then, I'd just try Atelier again.
Listen, I already told you where to start if you're going to play.
Was it Ryza?
No, Rorona.
Okay.
The original trilogy of Rorona, Toturi, and Meruru, I feel like that's what it is. Those are the best ones, objectively. Some people would say Furies, Eska, and Laji, and the other one after that are good, better. I would say that they're good. I wouldn't say that they're better. Eska and Laji is one of my favorites one, though.
I don't know. Part of me wants to give Lydia and Sue another chance, and part of me feels like that one wasn't going to click with me. So.
No, Lily and Sue, I wouldn't recommend as far as like...
I like the characters.
Trying to invest energy into it.
I like the characters. The premise, I don't know, it was kind of...
Yeah. No, it's not a good one to invest any energy into. If you already have it and you have nothing better to do, by all means, play it.
I'll always have stuff
it's not even. It's like the third one in its own series.
Yeah, but I think it was the first one to come to like Switch or something.
It is, yeah.
So that's why I got it.
Well, yeah, but it's so weird that they chose that one
and
because
I think
there's so much other lore that you don't have.
I think I got it because you were excited for it, and the excitement rubbed off on me. And
terrible choices.
You outright told me before I got it that this is just like waifu trash. Don't get it, and I got it anyway. So
no, yeah, that's fair. I was very clear during my trash era that I consumed trash.
Yeah,
like I don't think Starlight Glow is a good game.
I
want people to know.
think it's a good game.
I think it's I think it's my favorite game of the 3DS, but at least I gotta say
it's a tactical game with time management stuff. It has a lot of the things I like.
it's fun.
I think
But,
Stella Glow
it's
is
also waifu trash.
I think it's an underrated game. I think
It is very
more
underrated.
people should play it. You do have to accept that it has the I'm actually a 1,000-year-old dragon trope crap, and like
Yeah, I look like an underage person, but I'm actually thousands of years old.
and also I look like an underage person because I am an underage person. Like,
Yeah, they also have I look like an underage person because I am an underage person, which is very problematic.
but like as long as you can like kind of tune all that out, like it's Persona's done just as bad. So
Persona's no one's free. No one's free of shame.
Persona's been just as bad. So if you accept what Persona's done, you have to accept what Stella Glow did. So
Yeah, they're both published by the same people. Image Epoch, rest in peace. I know that it's technically your baby, but come back from the grave and tell me otherwise.
And you know what happened next? Star falls, end quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. What the fuck is... Oh, there's my toothbrush. That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him. Oh, what are you saying? Judge!
what?
Lord,
I didn't hear you over
Ugh.
wailing.
no, that's fine. You didn't need to. I'm just like scoffing at this man. Oh,
Need to remind you, the cameras are rolling today. I felt the need to be a bit dramatic.
Oh my god.
you didn't do it, did you?
We never think like that! Come on! That's like... Newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even
Also,
contemporary
Easter egg
witch hunt,
for,
end quote.
What?
Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
You what?
Mito.
Oh, Mito. I thought that was Mido. I've always pronounced it Mido. Because it's spelled like Fido with an M.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Lest you forget, I played Ocarina of Time when I didn't know English. So
Okay, fair.
the I sound in Spanish is an E. I just literally
Yeah.
forgot that it was MI.
But Mido originally was from Zelda 2 as a town.
Oh, I always thought it was
Oh.
just all the Kokiris were named after two of the symphonic scale.
No, the
Like Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do.
is
It was just
Mido.
like-
Wait,
'cause-
crap. Is Mido? I know the sages were. I thought Mido was too. Maybe not.
I don't know. I'm just because like, isn't there another Kokiri who's like named off of the symphonic scale?
I mean, I know Mados and Saria off the top of my head. So
I don't know, man.
yeah, Mido Town is a Adventure Link.
Is that the one you like?
Zelda 2. It's the side-scrolling one. It's a flawed but good idea.
You should do a YouTube essay about this.
I recommend Adventure Time, Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage? Because it executed it to a more accessible level.
Yeah.
I think Zelda 2 needs another chance.
Janitor.
I think Zelda 2's style needs another chance. They just can't make it brutally hard. But
Yeah.
that's the only problem with Zelda 2, and that's why ultimately people get frustrated with it, is it is very unforgiving. So, but I still recommend everybody try it and just play with save states or restore points depending on what you're playing on. Just do it. It's enjoyable if you're willing to do that.
Yeah.
I know. Wild accusations rock courtroom, end quote.
Rock indeed. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun.
Well, he loves when people talk about rock.
I'm so happy for him.
No, that wasn't sarcasm. Like, he needs some joy in his life. Besides me.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Your cross-examination, please.
Escandalo.
I visited the studio around 9 o'clock that night. Oh, I haven't even read this. So.
9 o'clock at night? Isn't that a little late for an interview?
If the great painter Drew Misham says come at 9 o'clock, believe you me, I go at 9 o'clock. The first, and as it turned out, last interview with such a prolific painter. Smile. He died.
Right. Can you tell us what it was like when you arrived? You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio?
Posterity will look back on that night as a turning point in journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all mankind. But a giant step for that Brushel guy. End quote.
If no one on the outside ever had access to the studio, then it would serve to reason that the deed was done by an insider. Not an outsider, an insider.
By which he means Vera did it.
So how did this epoch-making interview go?
Epoch is my favorite rapper.
Oops. Alright. He actually meant Tupac, he's just dumb.
Yeah.
Would you mind being a little more specific?
Oh, let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in 3rd grade. No, wait, 4th grade.
That's not what I meant.
I believe I know what F4 is driving at.
Also, why were you drinking coffee when you were 9?
You say that, but like, I guess just kids these days. I mean, obviously they're not kids these days, but like, they theoretically would. How old is this guy? I feel like he's probably our age, isn't he?
Oh God.
Not very far. Yeah.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
A little
I had coffee when I was very young. Like, and that's what I was saying. Like, kids these days have coffee even younger. Like,
yeah,
my niece and nephew
caffeine
can have
is very
coffee,
bad
like,
when you're still
regular.
growing.
I know.
I mean, caffeine's really bad in general, but let's not get into that discussion.
I know. Mm. The coffee the victim was served.
Like, caffeine is literally a drug that we've just desensitized culture to. So, like, it's actually a drug. It's not. I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, I don't consume any. I'm fully with you. Did anyone other than the defendant touch it?
Right, that. That's what I was going to say, really.
I said, though, I was battle-fed coffee when I was a baby. I don't know if we had this conversation. I really was.
Okay.
It was like part of like my ancestral, like, not even a joke, like my ancestral, like, medicine. My grandmother was the daughter of a medicine woman. It's a whole story, but like they made concoctions to keep me healthy when I was a baby because I was going to die.
Well, thank the
And
coffee.
coffee was part of it.
Well, thank the coffee.
Thank the coffee, because otherwise, inheritance might not be here today. And who else would inherit this title and be here talking to ShadGV?
I don't know if I'd still be streaming.
Probably Shady Gamer. Am I that influential in your life? You think you would never have streamed if I wasn't around?
I'm not saying I don't think I never would have streamed, but I don't think I would have stuck with it.
Aw, look at you. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cover my face so people don't see me crying. Continue.
Well, now, if you've got a question to ask, you best straight up ask it. That's what I tell all the new recruits, several times if necessary.
Yeah, dark data.
Right for a grade schooler, that's my motto. Which isn't to say I can only write grade school level.
Very appropriate, dark data. Thank you.
Stuff, mind you.
Who touched the coffee?
Tell me, who touched the coffee?
Who touched the coffee?
Swear to me! Now. I was in the back looking at the studio's equipment when she served it.
And what happened next?
And you know what happened next.
What's this about a star falling?
Starfalls, huh? It's like an old telegram.
What?
Send money over?
I don't see the connection.
Zowie, you don't know? That's like a journalism code word. Oh, yeah, that's nice and lump-free. An important personage passes away, a star falls. Get it?
There's no gravity in space, is there?
There's gravity in... What?
Yeah. I don't know what
Gravity
you're
is a
talking about.
universal constant.
Yeah, there's gravity everywhere, Trucy. I don't know what you're talking about. Like there's like... Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, stars are constantly being pulled towards other things. Like
Like, the
what?
further away from stuff you are, sure, your increasingly smaller amounts of gravity are affecting you, but there's... What?
Yeah, but then other things start affecting your gravity. I wouldn't think stars could fall, really.
I mean,
That's
now
the
we're getting
meteors
some
are.
semantics, what is falling, but like...
Yeah, right. Also, like, meteors are constantly referred to as shooting stars, right? Like, then
Well,
we have
but
to
they
go into
aren't
the semantic of
stars.
what is a star, right?
That's a figure of speech, though. It's not...
Yeah.
No academic is going to say a shooting star is a star, and they're not going to call it a shooting star.
So you think that Brushel's an academic?
No, I think that you are.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment, actually, now that I think about it.
Does this matter?
Oh boy, this is good stuff, good stuff.
God.
How about star breaks? Nah, lacks punch. I know, star dies. Nah, lacks imagination. Of course, you could go with Drew dies, straight to the point. I like it.
I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial.
The moment of death.
About when Mr. Mishima passed away.
Oh boy, what a scene that was. He puts his coffee mug down with a crash, right?
Yes, and then?
Then the cold finger of death touches his spine. Life's flame sputters and fails. So cold was that touch, he could do naught but tremble uncontrollably.
You don't sound at all like a journalist. Journalists, it's not creative writing.
Yeah.
You don't get poetic.
Yeah.
Actually, life's flame is a little tired. Life's river froze over. Yes, that's a go. Yes.
I think he's starting his article already. I feel like he's like a tabloid journalist. Also, sorry for that noise. That's my phone charging.
He works for BuzzFeed.
Oh, now I feel bad for him.
He wrote the article on each Disney princess as a trash can.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was gonna say each Disney princess as a loaf of baguette. Not even different kinds of bread, just baguettes.
I kind of miss when that was a
no.
trend. What? Brush feed.
Brush feed.
You don't need to acknowledge it.
Oh. I took psychic damage from that one. Oh. That was bad. Oh.
Could you describe that a little more simply?
Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. He hit the floor, as they say. Artist seizure his final performance. End quote.
I still don't like. Why does he blink from the bottom?
He does blink from the bottom like a turtle.
Yeah, but turtles are cute.
Athroquinine paralyzes the central nervous system. The buzzy arches back like a bow and something happens. The limbs tremble, the throat burns.
Knees weak. Vomit on his
palms
sweater already.
sweaty, Knees weak, arms heavy.
That's quite enough of that. Some of us want to be able to sleep tonight.
Oh yeah, well I want details. Lots of juicy details.
As weird as it sounds, for one, I'm on Brushel's side. I usually fall asleep to like people playing horror video games. There's just something about like the low ambient tone of video games that don't include jump scares and somebody who's beaten the game 1,000 times not being scared of it, that is just like the nice, like a perfect combination of like soothing.
Meanwhile, I may as well need to exist in a what is it? No senses.
Yeah, sensory deprivation
tank. That's probably what I need to fall asleep.
Yeah,
The slightest stimulation keeps me awake.
that's fair.
Like, I sleep with a sleep mask because literally the slightest bit of light keeps me up, but the feeling of the sleep mask keeps me up too a little, so there's no winning.
Listen, y'all know companies that sell sleep masks. Y'all know who you are. Sponsor. Send us sleep masks. I know that there's good ones out there. I would even tell ShadJV about them right now, but we're not getting sponsored by them. So I'm not saying them on stream. But if you want, you got a business email, right? It's on the about.
Probably. I should.
Yeah. Follow that. If not, send a message on Twitch. You could do that. I know that.
Yeah, you can send it on Twitch. Or join the Discord. Actually, really weird. The sponsor joins the Discord.
Purple mattress, like signs up. It's like says hi to everyone.
Post some memes.
Yeah, goes on the Not Safe for Work like channel, you know.
Goes to the cafeteria channel, posts what they made for dinner.
It's all egg based meals.
Raw uncracked eggs.
It's so funny. It's gonna happen eventually. Like, we're getting so desensitized to ads that like literally it's gonna have to be like militia marketing of people doing stuff like that.
I just saw today, apparently there's a trend on social media of essentially AI making like cooking videos. Like, obviously somebody has to record footage to match it, but the recipes, it's all the speech and the recipes, in the script, it's all AI generated, and the resulting recipes look vomit inducing. Like, I have never seen somebody make eggs look more disgusting or less appetizing.
That's terrible. Ugh, you're cursing me with forbidden knowledge that now, like, it's gonna show up on my pages too, and it's gonna be horrid.
Like, every one of them with eggs, they had to, like, separate out the yolk and the whites, cook both, and then mash them together. I'm like, what are you doing?
Terrible. For that, you can listen to our last year's hit single, After Quinine, My Love, by the Governors, available at all major music outlets.
Including Hot Topic. He doesn't go shopping much.
A special cover for the Hot Topic one.
Including FYE.
The FIE
The
one
back,
shows
baby.
shows what was the guy's name from the previous game? My memory's terrible.
From the previous game?
From the previous case. The bass guitar guy that killed Romaine Lettuce.
Darian. Oh, yeah, that's the last name?
Crescend.
Darian Crescendo.
Yeah, Darian Crescend. That's the FYE cover. It's just Darian Crescend shooting Romaine Lettuce.
If I remember, Dark Data, when you say intelligence score, do you mean the cake one? No, I'm not sure what you're referring to with the intelligence score. Because I know there's a cake one.
It's like the Wheatley and stuff? Like the little balls?
Are you just saying in general you call them their intelligence scores? Yeah, the cake one you mean, that recites a recipe.
There's one that does recipes, yeah.
Yeah, it gives a recipe for cake. But I think that's actually a good recipe for cake, if I remember correctly. It's also not AI generated.
I don't remember.
It's actually written by like a script writer. So,
ooh.
I mean, no, nothing in Portal.
That might be like a
AI
fun
generated.
video.
What?
To make that cake following that recipe.
Certain people have done that.
Probably.
With fish-shaped crackers. Well, yeah, I think it does get deranged after a little while, kind of. But I don't think it makes anything atrocious.
I mean, we'll see.
Fish-shaped crackers are just goldfish. The snack that smiles back.
Or it could be, what is it? Dorayaki, like those fish-shaped, like waffles with like taiyaki. Is that what it is?
I think it's
With the bean
taiyaki.
paste in the center.
The ones that look like fish. The little fish.
Yeah.
The cakes that look like fish, not fish cakes, but they're
Yeah,
fish-shaped
yeah,
cakes.
fish cakes. Yeah. Like maybe that'd be fun to put a couple of those on the cake, like artisanally.
yeah.
The point here is that the victim died of atroquinine poisoning. Well, Mr. Justice, how did you find that testimony?
Very important.
Well, is it an account of the moment of the victim's death? I'd say it's very important. Please add it to the testimony.
Very well. The court requests the witness add this account to his testimony.
Spasms.
Okay,
There's
present.
definitely death by poison.
We have to have something that like atherquinine takes 15 minutes, if I remember correctly. Is it that what says it?
Just as cause of death.
Do we not have anything?
Slow
We might not
acting
have
deadly
anything, though.
poison.
Slow acting deadly poison? Is that what it
This
says?
is traces of the slow acting deadly poison.
Yeah, slow acting. There we go. Then that. Nope.
Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement?
I'm not sure I follow you.
It's clearly contradicts the, I thought...
You don't sound very sure, Mr. Justice. Objection overruled.
No.
I don't think that won me any points to the judge.
Maybe I picked the wrong thing.
Hey there, Outcry.
Hi, Outcry. Go back, I guess. Maybe because they give us 3 options to pick. Maybe I picked the wrong thing to focus on. Because like what I was trying to get at is that, as you said, right, the whole thing with the like he's like implying in what he's saying that he died quickly. So like I wanted to get at that,
Yeah.
but I guess I
Oh,
it's vague enough.
maybe I have to press this statement.
Maybe.
You say it was definitely death by poison. How can you be so sure?
Hey, look, I'm a journalist. I've seen a lot of things. I've had more than my share of experience with so-called poisonings. Man eats fishy fish, goes bye-bye. End quote.
Fugu.
Food poisoning doesn't count.
Oh, just food poisoning.
Should I get him to talk about something else?
I guess the Stars coffee.
You say Mr. Mishima had the coffee too. But did you actually see him drink the coffee?
Of course. He who sees it wins, but he who says it He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. End quote. I live in a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world. Yeah.
Yet?
I guess I can't say I saw him drinking it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lips to mug, drinks? End quote.
Drinks?
That poison is quite virulent, I hear. My stomach did a so-called somersault. Since I'd gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it. Wait, maybe something's there. Some kind of so-called trick. Anyone want to venture a guess for the record?
Does this guy have a pause button?
Well, Mr. Justice, did you find the testimony valuable?
I guess.
That's not an option.
Very important.
The victim drank his coffee, then immediately fell over.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Oh, yes, you can go to the press with that one.
Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. Please add it to the testimony.
Very well, the witness will add this to his testimony. Vital, right.
Okay, now present the slow acting poison. My bad.
It's not that I don't trust you, but
That's fair.
we just
I
haven't
deserve
saved
that.
it all yet.
I deserve that.
So he had one sip that is like the moment he was on the floor.
Slow acting poison.
Okay, but you could still go on the floor. You know what
Yeah,
I
maybe
have?
he wanted to like do like a little break dance.
Or maybe the carpet just was so comfy.
Oh yeah, it's like coffee puts me right to sleep.
You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used, atroquinine.
Oh, Prosecutor Gavin is quite clear about the poison. A lethal dose of 0.002 mg paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile of secrets.
Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information, like usual.
Like usual.
An
Ellipses.
omission?
Atroquinine is as virulent as he says. But death doesn't come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because atroquinine is slow acting.
Slow acting?
According to one forensic scientist.
It's one of the most virulent poison, but it is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show.
If we suppose that the moment Mr. Misham sipped the coffee was when it sealed his fate, well, I got a stroke. Then he would still have had time left to enjoy his last cup of Joe.
Joe. Oh, he's so scrawny.
So his head was crooked. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Order, what's the meaning of this? What the defense says is correct. Why, that contradicts the entire testimony you just heard.
Like, even from the back, his character design looks like it doesn't fit the game. Well, Mr. Brushel, anything to say on the record? Slow acting. SLOACT? It was virulent, alright. Even then, it had already been digging its claws into that journalist.
He's working on a scoop.
God, I could go for some ice cream.
Ooh.
2 scoops.
It's Brushel, ja? Brushel, let's take a trip back down memory lane.
Huh?
Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip?
Yeah, that's literally what I just said.
Think it over. This is vital.
I guess I could change my testimony.
I know, right? Like this is such a leading statement. Like
I mean,
yeah,
that's as leading as a question can get. It's like,
yeah.
oh, are you sure it happened that way and not this way?
Hmm?
Like, I'm glad here. Don't trust the game. Think it's the right thing yet. But in another 20-minute tangent, we're going to present the evidence. Oh, fair. You know what I think? I think I do have breast cancer. I think that was a not so subliminal suggestion. End quote. Is he calling him out?
Call him out. Call him out. I admit it does cause a problem if he dies when you say he died. I would be forced to say auf Wiedersehen to my simple case.
That's how you spell that. I won't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna remember that.
Auf Wiedersehen.
I wouldn't even have read that right because I wouldn't have processed that was goodbye.
Yeah. Well, you know, I am a linguist by trade. Makes me sick. You would be forced to say farewell to your article.
Come again?
I can't write a story. You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? As the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent.
What the heck kind of like bribery is this?
Yeah. Yeah, it's using extortion to force a testimony that's not true.
Yeah, Judge, do you see this?
It's your exclusive scoop goodbye.
Scoop.
What? What?
What?
What?
cleaning his
Why?
glasses.
Why?
Because he's disgusting.
Why would you do that? That doesn't even make sense.
He uses
Like,
brush
the
to
glasses
clean
would be
everything.
so streaked. Like, that's not cleaning them. That's just putting
He
saliva onto your
just has
glasses.
saliva smeared all over his glasses now.
Look, wait. Just wait a second. Just 1 second.
Ugh, the
We're
odor that
waiting.
must be
We're
emanating
waiting.
from this man
Out
is
with it.
appalling. Like, just smells like stale spit. Ugh.
Oh, I mean, that's how I wash all my body parts. I just lick my toothbrush and rub it over me. Like a cat. It's more time efficient.
So gross!
I think I just recalled a so-called important detail. A revival recollection, end quote. A story survival, end quote. I just remembered everything I said was wrong.
Attorney utterly confused, end quote.
Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I'd heard of poison that takes its sweet time, see?
But not what I've seen. But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently.
Mr. Brushel, are you saying you noticed something that explains what happened?
You bet your sweet biscuits I am.
He would say that.
The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say.
Or I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say.
I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview with my mind. In my mind palace.
Oh my god! Get out of my mind palace!
Oh, gross. Get out of my mind palace, Chad JB. Disgusting. Like, what are the odds? What are the odds?
I feel very uncomfortable right now, thank you.
Oh, God. There's no originality. We literally
I don't
share
know.
a brain cell.
I don't know where I begin and you end.
At this point, yeah.
Thanks to my...
Actually, I think I said it backwards too.
Thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee. I have scoliosis.
Order!
As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony.
There's so many toothbrushes in this mind palace. Ugh! You'd have the worst
Disgusting.
palace.
Yeah. It's like the beginning of Psychonauts 2, that you go into the brain of a dentist, and it's all just like gross amalgam of teeth and gums. It's disgusting. It's a great game.
It's on my not bucket list. Backlog.
Yeah, Dr. Lobato. For all my Psychonaut heads out there. Dark Data. You're a real one. That Mr. Misham died the instant after he drank.
Of course, I'm standing by my testimony. And my dream of exclusive rights to the story.
Ach, I suppose it was too much to hope for.
What was? That he would change his whole
he wouldn't choose a simple... What?
That he would change his whole testimony.
Yeah, right. Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case. Not him.
Him?
Phoenix, right? Who else?
Oh, I thought we were talking about the crab man woman. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, the crab demon. Achtung, Brushel, report to us if you would. What is it that you noticed?
This court is a critical trial of the jury system.
I thought I didn't read that right because that didn't make sense in my brain.
I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Mashami was at his desk.
It's just getting worse.
He seemed to be writing a letter. He quickly sealed the envelope. Sorry, I forgot how the words were spoken. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note? What is the... oh, why do I have a feather pen? I don't even use it.
A suicide note?
Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face inscrutable as a quadratic equation, end quote. Y
being
equals
summoned by the
x
chat.
squared plus 7x minus 2.
The quadratic equation?
What?
The quadratic equation? Is that what you're trying to figure out?
No, I was saying a quadratic equation.
Oh, I thought there was just one. Like the whatever plus or minus the square root of 2b minus whatever.
I thought the quadratic equation of y equals ax squared plus bx plus c.
Probably.
What's up, Darkton? You said you're going to use that feather. No, I don't think. I think it's just part of his character design. I don't think he's ever going to touch that feather pen.
Yeah, the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a.
Listen, I haven't taken a math class in like over a decade and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I clearly didn't remember, but you're also partly right too, because like it only works if a squared plus b, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, but a does not equal 0.
Yeah,
So the equation that you were thinking of is relevant.
yeah. I mean, I was good at math. That was like my strong subject. It's
I
just
was
been
good
a
at
long
geometry.
time.
I wasn't good at any other kind of math.
I was good at everything up to geometry. Trig and onward is where it kind of fell apart, and that's the long story. I won't get into here why, but
Yeah, that's fair.
I probably, if I did things normally, I probably would have been good at those two. But
I have very similar experience, actually, weirdly enough.
Drucy, you thinking about something? Drucy?
Suicide? Poor Mr. Misham. But that means that Vera is innocent.
Would someone commit suicide in the middle of an interview?
Oh,
Very well, you may begin your cross-examination.
I mean, I don't see why not.
I mean, why are we cross-examining him? He's
Yeah, there's
benefiting us right now.
yeah.
Gavin should be doing this. Was there anyone at the studio other than Mr. Mishami?
Well, his daughter Vera, of course.
Was there anyone besides Mr. Mishima and Vera present?
Not a single one. Not a cat, not a rat, not even a mouse.
Suddenly Christmas.
I was thinking Dr. Seuss, but that's actually probably better. Yeah, that's Night Before
Yeah,
Christmas.
not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Well, not a cat, not a rat, not even a... Okay. The only person who didn't belong to the studio there was you, wasn't it, Mr. Brushel?
I know what you're doing. I know your game. I'm trying to use this classic Ramsden phenomenon ploy, end quote.
The heck is that?
If you intend to suggest that this reporter is a suspect, I'm sure you also intend to present evidence supporting that ascension, correct?
No.
In the meantime, let's move along, shall we?
So he put the letter away when he saw you?
Early reporter gets worm, end quote. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always early.
I'm not sure I follow.
It's the night of the interview. I arrive 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in.
Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really?
Mr. Mishima sure seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope as fast as he could.
Mm.
I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one.
Does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice.
I wonder if he does have the ring of something important, or it does have the ring of something important.
Yep, I have to have testimony because that envelope, Lippy, is not yellow.
The defense finds this testimony vital, Your Honor.
Very well. Please add to the testimony then.
Hey, why not? My account comes free of charge.
It'd be funny if the news statement doesn't mention the color.
With a yellow envelope. Envelope. I heard it was left at the crime scene.
Present, unless you want to push everything else, but present the red envelope.
What's that? This?
Yeah.
Are we sure it's red?
I
Are
mean,
we
that
sure
might be
that's not just?
colorblind.
Are we sure it's not covered in blood?
Yeah, I mean, knowing Ace Attorney wouldn't surprise me if that's the argument.
As it just so happens, there was a single letter in a desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope.
That literally, he does not, like, you keep saying it, and I totally believed you the first time, but, like, he does not belong in this game franchise.
He has no bones in his head.
Yeah, since when?
He's a
Since
Play-Doh
when has
man.
a character been able to literally plasticine Gumby their way into, like, a pose like that? Like, obviously this is anime, but, like, this is, like, not...
That doesn't look like
freaking-
anime. That looks like late 80s, early 90s Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Like, since when? Like, we had never seen a character do something like that.
I wish that would be a plot point of why he's doesn't look human. But
Yeah.
Prosecutor Gavin,
Yes.
was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime?
Unfortunately, no. But a forehead. It's easy to mistake the color of an envelope.
What? It's easy to mistake yellow and red?
All I need to do is prove enough.
I guess. But not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already. 7 years ago. Wait, what's the postmark have to do with that?
Yeah, what does that have to do with that?
Well, Mr. Brushel.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't opened.
Mm.
So why would he be like writing it and stuff?
Yeah.
Or because he put something in the envelope.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Brushel.
Although I still don't think that I would just say, I guess, too. It's easy to think a red thing is yellow, but here's hideously colorblind.
I can explain that. Drew, right? He wanted to get that letter to an envelope pronto. Get out of sight of my beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed it away.
What about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction, chump?
Well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to the witness's claim?
That night, the victim put a letter he'd been writing in a red envelope.
Yeah, why would we say... Why would we...
He couldn't. It
Say
was
that-
postmarked.
Yeah, it was postmarked, yeah.
So it's impossible.
It's impossible, yeah.
But we also just said this.
Yeah, literally. That's what I'm saying. Like, what? Like, this. Like, it's weird that we have to go out of our way to explain that.
That's impossible.
Ah, I like your expression. So full of confidence.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
That's a Simpsons reference, right?
Yeah, I don't know many of them, but
Yeah. No, that's a good one. It's
it's
in line
simple,
with.
really.
Haha, I'm in danger, which is the same.
I mean, it's the same
character,
character,
ironically
yeah.
enough.
Ralph, I think maybe is the name.
Yeah, maybe. He got some jams. He got some
Do
golden.
love
little
Apollo's
nuggets.
yellow vest. Yeah, his piss yellow vest.
His piss yellow vest. If please, everybody on stream watching the VOD, if your piss looks like Apollo's vest, please get medical attention. Unless you had a lot of beats recently, in which case I guess it could look like that, but like you're kind of close.
As it so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of a forensic scientist.
What?
Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Misham. So, does this? I forget what it says. Oh yeah, the $100,000 deposited. And send a thing. Okay. Okay. Ow? Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone send a suicide note to himself.
I've been scooped.
Yeah, why is his head in that such like he's like sticking it out like
He has the worst scoliosis. It's like in both X and Y axes.
no Z axis though.
What would that be like?
Forward?
I was putting the plane like flat, so X and Y is like Z is up down. But sure, maybe he's all three axes. Ramsden emulsion, sometimes named. Oh, that's very delayed, but you got an answer to that question earlier. Emulsion stabilized solid particles. I mean I don't remember the context at this point, so. But that's a thing that I don't think people would know, so I don't know why they had that.
I also it was Brushel, which again a whatever freaking desert waste of a sandbox. Like he just says stuff.
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Not sponsored, but Atlas. I've seen you sponsor small YouTubers. Come on. Do Shajibi a favor. He'd love it eternally.
Order. Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the court? Oh, my. How could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets old, forgets lots, end quote. Still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Brushel. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in the envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
Is
Yes.
this on your track?
A stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. I think so.
I like it.
Oh, this is the Hottie Director's theme.
Oh, I think you're right.
So it might be remixed a little. I don't know why it's so quiet. Yeah, this is just the Hottie Director theme.
Yeah. I think it was just really quiet, so I didn't hear it originally.
A stamp? Whatever for?
Well, to mail his letter. What else? And then, why, yes, I think I saw him put it in his letterbox. Actually, I feel like, has the audio been quiet? Yes, it was a yellow envelope, and he put it in that box.
Well, apparently this yellow letter has nothing to do with the case.
Oh, how I wish it did. Just think if that were a suicide note. What a story. Star-rate suicide note in front of reporter. False, end quote.
As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That said,
Yes, Your Honor?
makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope. $100,000 is quite a good deal of money. That's like 10 million yen. Actually, probably more than that, because the yen is weak right now.
So this was from 7 years ago, yeah?
So am I finished? Here, I mean, am I finished here? Is
Well, yeah, 7 years ago from 2025 was 20... 2018?
Yeah, 2018.
So 100,000 yen in 2018.
No,
what would that be?
$100,000.
$100,000.
I was thinking of, going home to start writing. Yeah. My nose grew 3 sizes that day.
Xavier over there just snapping his fingers.
Mm.
I hate to say what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that rather unique face.
Come on! Attorney has active imagination, little else, end quote.
$100,000 in 2018 would be worth $124,321.14 today based on current inflation.
Wait, what? I'm talking about, though, yen. But okay.
Yeah, I thought it was yen. You said dollars, so I got confused.
$100,000 worth how much yen?
Yeah, so $100,000 in 2018. How much was that in yen, right?
That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It was just making a goof.
Yeah, but you know me.
Even I noticed something. My eyes aren't what they used to be. I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about.
Judge has active imagination, end quote.
Please, continue with our testimony. Tell us about the scent of a story. Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here, usually. Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. Reporter leverages story, gets his interview, end quote. Story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably has something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. So you threatened to go to the press with this story. That's how you got your interview, blackmail? Well, yes. I mean, no. It wasn't exactly black. I mean, I'm not... It was white mail. Something wrong, Mr. Brushel? Look. This is my story, my tidbit. Journalist info is livelihood, end quote. I see. Well, you have me chatting away in here. What's going on out there? What if some Wally Wordsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story? They could be going to press with them, but going to waste. The court feels your pain, Mr. Brushel. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace.
It's melanin deficient male. A certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago?
Mm.
It's almost like something really big happened 7 years ago that'll tie to the entire game's plot. Just like every game has for something that happened years ago.
Oh, so this one's one of these.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bracelet one.
Did you want to just go for it somewhere, or?
So for the bracelet one, we need to find them like a thing that they are lying about.
Yeah.
Or like when they get stressed, right? Something that it would be like.
I think it's a lie. I think they're lying when it is.
So I think it's probably towards the end when he was like, when it's the whole thing with the blackmail. Like, it's probably that one.
Nothing in this was about blackmail.
I'm saying it's probably that one, Drew's talent, because that was the one that's implying that he's blackmailing. His talent is that he blackmails.
So try perceiving here.
Then we got. Oh God, get out of his face.
Where am I zooming in on?
I don't know.
I mean, all I'm moving is his mouth, his face.
Here again. I mean, go. I don't. It's
his
that
hand. His hand is here.
No. I don't know, maybe it's his neck? The other lady was his neck swallowing. Here again. This is such a bad feature. Okay. Is he like shaking visibly?
I don't think this is the right statement. I don't see anything changing. His eyebrows change?
I don't think so.
Or his ears wiggle or something weird?
Keep going. Go down, I guess.
There's nothing. I don't think anything's changing.
Try again, but just don't move from where you are right now. Yeah, I don't know.
Should I just start pressing, or
I guess, yeah.
unless you have any other ideas?
No.
The victim, Drew Measham, had an aversion to reporters.
Well, I guess. Not even my considerable charms did much for him. So I finally got my thumbs up, that is.
Maybe you can elaborate on that bit for us.
Exactly what sort of story was this?
Oh, a little one, like I said. Just like this little lump. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing in between. End quote. I might have suggested I had a lead on this particular story. I didn't threaten or cajole or nothing, honest.
So suggestion was enough to get an interview? Mr. Measham must have really wanted to keep it under wraps. A certain case 7 years ago. Tell us, what case?
Let me state one thing, Mr. Attorney, and you can quote me on this. I can't talk about that case.
Why not?
It's about journalistic pride and staunchness and credibility and connections. Journalist reveals sources only over his dead body. End quote.
Well, I mean, that's fine by me. Like,
don't tell me. What'll it be? You gonna strangle me?
oh, what did he say?
Strangle me? Dead men don't tell tales, Mr. Attorney.
I mean, in this game series, they do.
Sounds pretty determined not to talk.
Our chances of breaking his will aren't looking good.
What if we steal his will seed? On the one hand, we have your story, and on the other, this letter. What makes you think the two are related?
Oh, I was just saying it's possible. Call it reporter's intuition, end quote. Hey, I say a lot of things. You want to pick all of them apart? Be my guest.
All of them? No. Just the incredibly suspicious ones.
I see. Anything else to add about Mr. Measham?
Just how amazing was Mr. Measham's talent?
Huh? Oh, wee boy. I mean, hey, he's a star, man. A star. The flow of his brush is like a great undulating river across the canvas. Artist paints light up studio-like sun, end quote.
This guy is full of wacky gestures. That one just now was wackier than usual. What?
He looks kind of nervous to me, Apollo.
Definitely. I'm sensing something different than before here. Maybe it's time to bring out you-know-what.
That testimony left a bad taste in my mouth.
It all makes sense. Nothing jumps out as ridiculous.
I wonder what this story he's talking about is. Must have been good to get an interview with a famous recluse like that.
Something powerful enough to drag Drew Measham out of hiding. I wonder. Maybe it had something to do with Mr. Measham's art. Okay, well, they were talking about him weirder than normal in that last statement. Though I thought we...
So there is something on here.
Maybe. I didn't notice anything wackier than normal. There's like ear. Like, what? This is ear twitch or something.
Yeah, the issue is that you essentially have to watch, pick a spot and then watch it the entire time. It'd be personally, in my opinion, if there were like, if I were to do this, I would just be like, the Twitch happens the entire time the line's going, so you can like explore while finding it. Because like this is like,
Well,
you could
because
literally...
it's trying to point out which part of the statement was the lie.
Yeah, no, I get it,
Or
right?
hiding,
But it's like,
hiding something, maybe? I don't know.
or maybe there's like a primary Twitch, and then like when you find that primary one, there's like a secondary one that is like more...
I think they should just let you zoom out and see everything, and then zoom in to point out where the Twitch is.
No, yeah, that's probably better.
Hand. Does your hand do anything weird? I really don't see anything for this statement, though.
Yeah, I mean, you have the guide.
I can
Can
pull
always
it up.
check.
I like us not to have to rely on that, but...
Oh, wait.
What?
Go back. See there?
Where?
His armpit.
Oh.
His armpit.
Oh, gross!
Disgusting.
This one, it couldn't get any grosser.
Disgusting.
Sweat much, Mr. Brushel?
Yeah, well, a man can't help his glands, you know.
It's more than that. When Mr. Misham's talent was mentioned, you suddenly began to sweat buckets. Like, literally, like, you just poured out water suddenly.
Yeah, it's not even like sweat slowly accumulating. It's like he gushed water out of his armpits.
I don't want to think about it anymore.
You're hiding something.
Oh, you're hiding something about his talent. They expect nothing less from this man.
What? That's ridiculous.
Evidence time. Let's show Mr. Misham's where Mr. Misham's true talent lay. Just so happens I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in that letter.
Is it the hidden one? Which one says that's a forgery?
I assume it was this one because the rough sketch didn't match it.
Yeah, but the hidden one. Check the hidden one.
The hidden one would be the original. Because he was copying it onto the one that the draft didn't match.
Hey, Paul, this painting, I know it.
Huh? Really?
It's that story where the old woman's doing the wash in the river, and this giant peach comes a floating down.
That might possibly be the strangest thing I've ever heard.
My argument for it being the hidden one is that it was hidden, right? So he was like trying to like not let people know.
But what's that to do with his talent?
It's a forgery.
This isn't the forgery though. This is the original.
I mean, that's fair. Pop a save, and we'll try.
We can't save. We can't save here.
Ugh.
I'll leave it up to you. So.
I really think it's the hidden one, but like, oh, I don't want to be wrong twice in a row.
Spectator said what's in the ladder. What's mentioned in the ladder? This is.
The frost sketch is only half hidden by the oil painting.
I'll never understand artists.
Still, it's impressive. I wouldn't think you could hide such a dark sketch under a little paint.
Well, it is called oil paint for a reason. I bet it's pretty oily. The paint, I mean.
I'm still waiting for you to get to your point.
Oh, the letter Apollo's referring to? The letters just mentions the signing papers and sending a stamp. They're just sending papers.
Oh. I'm gonna take a risk. Do the hidden painting. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I apologize to all my detractors.
This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. The first is it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. The second is that there was another painting in the studio, which looked exactly like this one, except it was only half done. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000. There might have been multiple things you could show,
Maybe.
which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries. Ow!
Yeah, the ties are going around his eyes. Like his eyes have bulged out and the ties going underneath them.
Okay.
Disgusting.
That is all, Your Honor.
Everyone, please, everyone. Can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop. Forgery. That's a serious crime. Drew Misham is known as an artist these days. But there were rumors he dabbled in another kind of art until a few years back. Another art meaning forgery? Drew Misham was talented, alright. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes.
There's the one time where he drew a painting of a mother holding a baby.
A fact that certain criminal elements were quick to discover.
Criminal elements? What? You can't seriously be talking about...
Exactly. I'm talking about forging evidence. The rumor started circulating 7 years ago.
7 years ago? So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for...
Exactly. Forged evidence nets tidy profit, end quote.
Order, order, order! Why, it's like our victim was living a double life. He got the best of both worlds.
Aha,
The
this
judge
is...
would be a Hannah Montana stan.
Yeah, but he hasn't figured out the same person yet, despite watching the show. Aha, this is my chance. The victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about.
$100,000 in 2018 would have been close to 11 million yen. Just for the record, I did look it up. I just wasn't relevant.
Okay.
This is my first time hearing of this criminal world.
What is a criminal?
We certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation.
But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity here. Nobody can have a bunch of money legally.
Only illegal money. But there's no proof tying this letter to our case. Our case was and remains simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course.
Yes. Hey! The only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing reviews.
He wants to make sure that the reviews apply an extra poison damage on top of the psychic damage.
Mr. Brushel, your testimony at this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of reporting acumen.
Surprised you pronounced that correctly, Judge.
Oh no, I missed what he said. Oh no.
What are you talking about? My journalism is rock solid. Journalism so solid you can stand an elephant on it, end quote.
An Indian elephant?
No, actually an African elephant.
Oh.
In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in that studio from the recap, the trial is over.
Why is it
Oh.
ascertain and not a certain? Okay.
Oh. What's he talking about?
The cross-examination showed Mr. Brushel didn't have any reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, then the killer had to be Vera. That's what. This next testimony is our last chance.
Mr. Brushel, testimony, please.
The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She's admitted as much herself. Okay, but the poison wasn't in the coffee. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Not even me. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter.
Nice testimony. Clear, succinct, and without room for doubt.
Oh, shucks. You really think so?
I believe this clarifies the situation that night. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may begin your final cross-examination.
Right. I still have one trump card left to play. And I won't let this trial end until I use it. Okay.
Yeah, might as well press on.
But that doesn't prove Vera poisoned it.
How many times have we heard that one, Airforehead? The poison reaches victim via the coffee mug. And from where did that coffee come, Not to beat a dead horse again, but perhaps you could fill us in?
I'm on it. You need a horse beat? I'm your man.
He looks like a man who would beat horses.
I love beating horses. Especially orphans.
Orphaned horses?
Orphaned horses. I orphan them.
Orphanage?
That sounds like something entirely different.
It does sound like something entirely different.
And you witnessed her pouring of the coffee?
Horsefinage?
Of course I didn't witness it. When she came in with that tray, the coffee was already poured into steaming.
Let us not forget that the defendant has admitted to pouring the coffee herself. I heard her statement. I poured, I served, and I killed.
What? Hey, cool name, welcome.
That last part was a little joke.
I don't think I'm going to get anywhere with this coffee mug. I need to find another weak spot in this case. You're sure about that? Well, to be really, really precise, I was busy gobbling mint candies the whole time. One of those candies might have been poisoned.
Yet at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room. And no mint residue was found.
What? It was a long shot anyway.
Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this. Isn't the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee?
Well, Mr. Justice, here's some proof.
Possibility is there, I can feel it. Just maybe not prove it, not yet. And possibility isn't going to cut it, not now. You're the poison
Cool name
woman?
was both the horse and the poison.
Poisoned horse?
Poisoned horse.
Mr. Measham ingested that poison via a route other than the coffee. Can you prove
I
it or
don't
not
think
yet?
we have anything to prove it.
Not yet. It can't be proven.
I do believe a little forehead is growing up. Pity, we'd like the rash, youthful forehead best.
Are you saying you prefer children?
Yikes.
Another hole in this case that needs plugging before I can prove anything.
Yikes.
But first things first, I better uncover a weak spot before I try to strike again.
On with the cross-examination.
Was there poison in that little photo frame? There was poison in the little photo frame. I don't know how that really... What, he ingested a little picture?
Nothing.
Nothing left the studio after he died, nothing. The toxic stallion. Do we not have a poison type horse Pokemon yet?
Nope.
That one thing, you're sure?
Yep, sure can be. Well, with one exception. One exception? What? Journalist Spark Brushel does interview, leave studio, end quote. Come on. It's a joke, get it? Not funny, I know, but still.
Did something leave the studio that night? Why does that sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before?
Now you've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts. I'd like to turn to our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have left the studio that night?
I think so.
Do you want to check, or do you want to just say just one thing?
I think he. Keep going. Didn't Brushel say himself that somebody sent a letter in the mail?
No, he said he saw the yellow envelope being put away. I don't remember him saying anything about a letter being sent. That doesn't help. No, that we got at the at some not there. It didn't leave the scene. Is the time not right?
That was I vaguely recall him saying that.
But what
like,
would we
if you
show?
don't, then the letterbox, I guess.
Okay. Just one thing.
Yeah, I mean, we saved. There's no penalty, really.
I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. A certain something that's vanished from the crime scene.
By what you mean? Something other than our witness?
Of course.
Don't tell me. Misham?
Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional.
Then let's see what you've got for us, Mr. Justice.
Well, this thing wasn't at the scene of the crime, so I can't show it to you. But I do have evidence that shows how it could have been taken from the scene.
The books.
Mailbox. This is the only link between that studio and the outside world.
A letterbox?
What?
Continue.
And what did Mr. Brushel just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter.
Yeah, I said that, and yeah, it was true.
Furthermore, you went on to tell us that he put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox.
Validation.
What?
Validation!
Like highest scoring student in the class?
Yeah. Like a high-scoring student in the class, I rise. I may not pay attention to everything.
I think you mean valedictorian.
I was valedictorian, yes.
That very same letterbox is empty. In other words, that night the yellow envelope disappeared.
Whoa. Ah, yes, intriguing. So an envelope had disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing.
Huh?
He has a point, Mr. Justice. What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Misham. It's really important that this envelope the witness says he saw disappeared.
Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me.
Very well then, the witness will add this to his testimony.
You got it.
I still think this has to change anything, F-heads. Ooh, while you drink and stretch, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. I'll be back. Get a good stretch.
Yep, Dark Data, you have a good evening, and we'll catch you next time. Ah, gosh. Oh, my spine has been really awful the past few days. We'll wait till he returns to continue, which will be just a moment. Hope you're all doing well. Just in May, looking forward to the Thousand Year Door and remaking in a few weeks, 2 weeks ish, 2.5. But yeah, I've been kind of bouncing through a lot of different games. Just started up Dragon Quest Monsters Dark Prince, and been working my way through a Picross game. Still picking away at Unicorn Overlord.
I've returned. I'm back. Wait, where's everything? Oh boy. Bear with me for a second while I untangle everything. Whoa. I return.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm fully back.
I wouldn't be so sure.
How was that stretch?
I'll stretch better when I'm not confined in this chair.
Fair.
A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. This is exactly the opening I've been looking for. Nothing could be more serious than Envelope disappearing from that studio. And you were hiding that fact from us.
Whoa.
Yes, well, actually.
I don't argue the possibility that a letter disappeared from the studio. But forehead, isn't there a much more serious question before us?
Right, how Mr. Measham was poisoned, I know. Mr. Brushel's testimony has changed, which means the fact of the case have too. What he's told us means something entirely different now, I'm starting to think.
Let's keep thinking, Apollo.
Should we just present something? Since the letter is put in the post for the studio, I hardly think that matters. I mean, that's a new statement we got.
I wouldn't know what to present though.
This, because that's the poison that we're saying could have.
Yeah, you could try. You saved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nope. Maybe 2 steps
Nope.
ahead.
There's a letter in the post from the studio, but I hardly think that matters. I think you're on the right track. I think what they're trying to get us to eventually say is that maybe he got a letter and like that little tiny frame was in the letter, and you have to like send it back.
I mean, I could press the last statement, but I'm assuming that it's the statement we got for out of pressing here.
I mean, what are the other statements we got?
I don't think we
What
have
else?
any.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that touched, like that seems like, honestly, that seems like the weakest link there.
What?
The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug.
This was the thing, though, we pressed and then we got this statement.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. We pressed something that was... We pressed statement 4 and got this statement. And it replaced statement 4.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, that's it. That's it.
What?
If he sent a letter, he had to lick the stamp.
Yeah.
So something else touched his lips.
Okay.
So go back to the other one. Now that we've established that there was a post in the studio, we can go back to the third statement. And remember where it says you have something to prove it?
This
The
one?
only thing that touches, the envelope touched his lips because he had to lick the envelope closed and lick the stamp.
So now press
And
it.
and that little box, that little frame, could have had a stamp in it. So he took it out to put the stamp on the letter.
You're sure about that?
I mean, I'm just grasping at straws at this point, but kind of.
Actually, this is all the same. Yeah, candies, mint residue. Let's see. That's really there. Justed poison. I can prove it.
I can prove it.
Proof is possible. Here goes nothing.
Was Clavier's brother also as dark-skinned as he is? I forgot.
I think he had roughly the same skin tone.
I wasn't like I'm trying to figure out if Clavier tans or not. You do understand what we need, yeah? Proof, Forehead, not possibilities.
Of course. And Prosecutor Gavin, I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof.
Ooh la la. What did you say?
I have proof of the disappearing envelope. I saw him writing a letter, I did.
Just picked up by the mailman, I assume.
Of course, which means... that envelope had a stamp on it.
Oh my
Stamp.
gosh.
Ah,
I've been playing too many of these games. It's weird logic makes sense.
As we all know, stamps come with dried glue on the back. Yeah, that's what I was several steps ahead of that frame with. I was like, oh, well, it had a stamp, so we would have licked it. But I was like 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp.
Not always.
Especially nowadays, they're usually stickers, I feel.
Yeah, and also even before they had little sponge pads that you could keep hydrated to just tap the sponge onto the stamp, so you don't have to chap yourself constantly. No one's worth talking to actually lick stamps in this day and age.
Are you saying that the victim wasn't worth talking to?
Yikes.
Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't, because he's dead.
Yikes.
He's dead after all.
Oh my gosh, Apollo. You know, sometimes when we do
Smiling.
extravagant bits, it's to be extravagant. You can't just say the thing that we thought was extravagant. Okay, so he licked the stamp. But wait. How does that explain the atropine on the rim of the coffee mug?
Because he licked his lips. He licked the back of Poison's stamp. The poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if he put the coffee mug to his mouth, Those traces in the mug weren't the killer's doing. It was the other way around.
what?
The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Measham. Mr. Measham poisoned the coffee mug himself. He's the killer.
Whoever gave him the stamp was the killer.
So you're saying whoever gave him the stamp killed the coffee mug?
Yeah.
I think he's responsible for the coffee mug's death because
He killed the coffee mug, but whoever gave him the stamp killed him.
Okay, but who killed the coffee mug?
But who was Doctor? Ah!
Order. But that doesn't... Does it?
Recall, if you would. Etroquinine is a slow-acting poison, yes? The poison entered his body when he put the stamp on that envelope. In the kitchen with the envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to that cup of joe.
Oh, so Brushel was also correct in saying that he took a sip and immediately brought it crashing down and died because
His 15 minutes were up.
his 15 minutes were up. Like this is like the weird example of the person we're cross-examining weirdly being right. Like, how often does that happen?
Especially weird because this seems like one of the sketchiest people we've ever cross-examined.
I know. This is like the weirdest subversion of that. Like, I fully thought the entire time was just going to be lying the entire time. I don't think he's lied once.
You have something to add, Mr. Brushel.
Uh-oh, his nose is picking up another scent. As I believe I mentioned earlier. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in this envelope, Mr. Measham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. But, you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one.
Maybe he just run out.
Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps, not a single one.
That does pose a problem. How do you prove that stamp was coated with poison?
Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. Makes proving the stamp he used was poison possible.
Good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place.
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say anyway. Where's your evidence that proves the existence of this poison
There's
stamp?
such an easy way, even if we didn't have this proof. It's the frame, but like, the Postal Service has a record of what goes in and out. They could have just been like,
Can they legally share that?
it's a crime.
Yeah, isn't it like a
Privacy,
HIPAA
like,
breach
even-
or something?
Even HIPAA is you can supersede it if it's relevant for like crime purposes.
Okay, but we'd have to prove it's relevant.
we are
Right now, all we have is conjecture. So
I don't think that's how that works.
The
I
stamp
think you just need
is
a
the
reasonable cause to think that it's relevant. I don't think you need to be 100% sure that it's relevant.
is this reasonable? This all seems like a big set of coincidences.
I mean, that's the name of the game, though. That's the name of the game. Ace Attorney. Set of coincidences.
Well, that certainly is a cute little frame, and by little, I mean really little. What is this, a frame for ants?
Yeah, frame for ants. That'd be a big frame for ants.
Hey, they could have. We have giant frames.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, it would be like one of those big, enormous, like skyscraper-sized images.
I don't know if it's skyscraper sized, but
It'd be like a 3-story building for an ant.
it's a billboard.
Oh, you're right. It is a billboard.
What is this, a billboard for ants?
There we go, Judge. Thank you.
It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself.
I noticed that too during my inspection. So what?
Ah, apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when he saw this frame, it was missing something quite important.
Missing something?
Quite important.
Yes, a pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Etroquinine residue.
What? 5 hours since I told about this.
Because they didn't know about it yet. The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most.
You are saying...
Oh, but I am. Tell me what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps?
Uh,
Order. The poison stamp was in this frame.
impossible.
But Prosecutor Gavin,
Why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it in there so he would commit suicide at the Moonstruck.
I mean,
That's a really metal way to do it.
now, can I say something? Had a thought, see? What, Mr. Brushel? Please stop jittering around like that. The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too, end quote.
the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him. Oh, do you miss having a guitar since yours burned?
Too soon, Apollo. Oh, Rich. That's Rich. Leave the ridiculous flights of fancy to the Gavinier song lyrics, please.
Oh, did you get a new second guitar? Finally, something we agree on.
The stamp was a murder weapon? Nonsense. Murder's a simple business. 502. Well, who would so go? Well, blah, 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 blah.
Xavier,
Whoa.
did you have a stroke?
Seems like I just had a stroke. Murder's a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one.
It's one of the German strokes.
One of those well-known German strokes.
Oh, I disagree.
Come again? I wasn't expecting Apollo to disagree.
Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Measham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail.
The mail?
Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew red letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon.
Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon.
I might not have evidence, per se, but things are finally starting to come together.
What is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling.
I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Measham was killed.
Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice.
A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Measham the stamp of death. You know, alright?
It's the red envelope had a stamp in it, right?
From 7 years ago.
From 7 years ago.
Isn't this the envelope on the... Isn't this the envelope, the one
just
from
have a
7
stroke,
years
George?
ago? I have one every day. Look at my age.
Yeah. Can't start your day off without a cup of coffee and a stroke.
Sometimes just like the hiccups, you just get several in a row.
Oh my gosh, you say that? I know. Super small tangent. I had the most violent hiccups last night. It was visceral. Like, they were painful. How violent they were.
Did you try a spoonful of sugar?
No, they went away pretty quickly when I scared everybody who was in the same floor as I was in my home. Like, I got scared, like, vicariously through them, and I was like, oh, I guess that's it. But I had, like, 3 really good ones, and by good, I mean bad, and then luckily they stopped. But I was like, whoa, I had never had hiccups like that. Like, they hurt.
Is your soul trying to escape your body?
I know. He's trying to protect me from Brushel today.
You're lucky the fourth one would have been it. Think about the text of the letter again. There were 2 pages of the envelope. This is page 1. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor.
Ah,
In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp, poison, on the stamp, lick, lick, gasp, unquote.
Lick, lick, gas.
That's how you get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
A 1, a 2. Ah!
Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked?
A 3. He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox.
15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene.
quite conveniently thanks to the U.S. postal system.
This entire game is just an ad for the U.S. Postal System.
U.S. postal system. Eat fresh.
Have it your way. Such a splendid imagination you have, Ed. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So this poison stamp was inside this envelope for several years ago, yeah? Is that what you'd have us believe, really?
Yes. Well,
It is a little bit of a stretch, but there is a possibility. Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder?
I don't know. How long does it take atroquinine to expire?
Yeah, what's the half-life
And
of atroquinine?
when it expires, is it deadlier or is it less deadly?
If it's medicine, it'd be less efficient.
But it's not
'Cause
medicine,
the
it's poison.
half-life- We already established that poison is just medicine dosed incorrectly. You literally said that last stream.
Yeah, but when it's expired, the dosage I assume would change, right?
The half-life. So basically what happens is, you know what half-lives are, right?
Yeah, there's 2 of
Like
them at
what-
least, but they'll never get a third one.
That's very good. Very good. That was actually very clever. But no, you know, like the concept of a half-life in, like, I guess, chemistry?
Yeah.
Like, after a certain point has elapsed, an element breaks down into other elements. And then that continues happening until eventually it turns into its basal elements, which is some form of carbon, because, you know, carbon-based life forms and all that.
But when it's breaking down, it could turn into stuff that's deadlier.
Yeah, it could theoretically turn into stuff that's deadlier, but eventually, given enough time, it would be nothing. It would just be nitrogen and hydrogen, and, you know,
I feel like that'd be pretty long, though.
it would. Again, that's why I said it depends on what the half-life of athroquinine could be. Some things have a very short half-life.
I don't know. Like, is expired arsenic safer to consume? Like,
Yeah. I don't know.
Clavier?
Sorry, I'm looking up the half-life of arsenic. Because, you know, I'm already on enough watch lists. A poison stamp in this envelope, a stamp that then became the murder weapon, a stamp specifically sent to him to kill him as a murder weapon, that stamp? How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence? Well,
Heck, it was 7 years ago, and we don't even know who sent that letter.
and your answer is silence. I see. Very well. I move to...
This is reasonable doubt, though. Oh, I think this is also you.
Is this his brother?
It's the only other one I would know of that speaks German and would know him by first name. Like,
I would assume so, right?
I don't remember how he did his voice.
Why is he here? I thought he was murdered. I thought he was killed.
He wasn't killed. He was the killer in that case. Oh, I mean, death penalty. Justice system works slow. You get the death penalty. You're on death row for like a decade.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not nice to pick on the Fräulein Clavier.
I guess the skin's a little lighter, not much. Emma.
Did Emma polymorph? She did.
It's called an impression.
Oh, wow.
A full body impression.
Emma, that was intense. Wow, we even saw it for a second. Incredible.
Why? Why were you suddenly?
Yeah, why did you do that? Emma, what? You just want to like induce a PTSD episode on his brother?
She's spirit channeling.
I know. Clavier is like, but I thought my brother was killed. I thought he got the death penalty. What's?
I watched him's last breaths.
Emma, you're such a psychopath. Oh my gosh, I love you. That's so funny. That's canon in my head, and I love her for it.
It's like Super Mario RPG, how Mario communicates with people when he like pantomimes, and he also like turns into other characters.
Yeah, he literally like transforms into them. Yeah,
just did that.
Yeah, Emma's a psychopath. Yeah, I know that's what Emma did. She just like summoned the fireflies from that was Kristoff's body. Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression. Did I sound like him?
Don't quit your day job.
I mean, we believed it.
I mean, listen, that's the best impressions ever if she can like take their shape, their bodily form.
Yeah. I mean, even Maya couldn't do that. Like she just looked like a Maya version of them. Like she just looked like Emma looked like Kristoff.
I don't know. Pearl did a pretty good job at looking like Mia in her undersized clothes.
Yikes.
I don't know if you remember that.
I do, because like everything was like more form-fitting, to be polite. But again, this is like an 11-year-old transforming into a full-grown woman with incredibly problematically sized breasts that would probably hurt her in real life if they were real. Either way. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fräulein Detective? Someone had to come dig out all this mess you're making of this case.
Mess?
You know, none of this would happen if you just trusted in science a little more. You can find out if that stamp was in that envelope easy. Get to explain yourself, Fräulein Detective.
Yes, with this time machine.
She got it on mail order. Clear me all you want, but science is on my side. It's on the residue, right?
That's right! The poison detection spray.
Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court.
Spritz. Oh, there it is. Simple.
Look at it. It's wheat then.
Yum. Yeah, I mean, if you send me a letter with a singular wheat thin in it, I'd probably eat it without even questioning it.
Singular wheat thin glued to the letter.
Yeah, like enjoy this small snack as you read this letter. I'm like, yep, that's how I die, I guess. I literally wouldn't even, I'm not even, this isn't even a bit. If you sent me a letter with a wheat thin in it, I'd probably just eat it. Like, I wouldn't even question it. Like, you don't think about that. Like, why would somebody send you a letter with a wheat thin in it? You might as well eat it.
I wouldn't eat it, but I also don't love wheat thins, but
I don't like wheat thins at all.
for wheat thicks.
How many C's?
12.
12 C's.
It wraps
That's just
around
a
the backs.
brick. That's just a brick. Like
It's like it's a block.
Wheat.
It's
Yeah.
it's the same in every dimension. It's a perfect cube of
It's a
wheat.
perfect cube of wheat. Buckwheat specifically
No,
for the bit.
it's like a sugar cube, but like a little bigger and pure wheat instead of sugar.
This is pure wheat, like
Powdered wheat.
dense. Yeah, oh, it's powdered wheat.
Oh, like
just
sugar.
encased in a. Yeah. Oh, that's worse. You're just like bite into it, and it's just powder.
It's like a
coming out.
crouton of just wheat, though.
Delicious. I mean, it would kill you. Just like your mouth trying to, like, you wouldn't be able to create enough saliva to breathe.
Well, would you look at that?
No mistaking it. That's aquatrinine. That's Emma. Come on, it's not that hard. No mistaking it. That's athroquinine residue.
Aphroquinine.
Don't quit your day job residue.
I don't believe it. A murder
don't
weapon
believe
from
it.
the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its things at last.
Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a...
Tell me why. I mean, it would be en vogue for him to sing it. Clavier is a musician.
He just suddenly breaks out into dancing as he does it.
It's just the entire time. Why would this murder take place 7 years ago? Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago?
Well,
There's one possibility.
he didn't lick it 7 years ago.
Maybe Mr. Mission figured it out.
What, forgot?
Yeah.
Figured what out?
Iconic. That's so me. That is so me. Be like, this is definitely gonna kill me. Let me just put it in a frame. And then just 7 years later, I'm like, oh shoot, I need a stamp immediately.
Oh look, a framed stamp. I don't remember why I framed this.
He realized the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent a reply with a different stamp.
And put his decisive evidence in a frame.
Who's holding? That's you.
Ah, you're still here. Hold it! Can I make a statement here on the record? I, Spark Razortooth Brushel, claim this scoop is
His name
mine.
Spark?
It's Spark Brushel. Yeah, we've learned his name, Spark Brushel.
I forgot his name was Spark.
Yeah, it even says, Spark Brushel. Spark Razortooth
Also-
Brushel.
You voice Spark Razortooth Brushel as if he was a deflating animal balloon, and I love it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Razortooth is because of the deviant form of Spark Brushel. And Razortooth Brushel.
Razortooth Brushel. Oh, you gotta farm that to get some end level gear, otherwise you're not gonna be able to fight the final boss.
Yeah, but I mean, he does have a one-hit kill move where it's just him cleaning himself with his toothbrush, and that just kills you from psychic damage.
Yeah,
You
if
have-
you
you
observe it.
You have to go behind a rock or something, because if you see it,
Yeah.
then you just die.
Yeah, your camera can't face him. Like if your camera faces him, like you lose. It's not even your character. It's the
Oh,
camera.
you die! You die in real life. You just die.
Yeah.
Like you know the like eldritch deities that your mind will break if you view them. It's that essentially. These orcs in Warhammer are the weakens. Like everyone call him Razortooth.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I don't want to play with him. He always forces us to call him Razortooth the entire time.
He must be really cool looking though. Like we've never seen him because
Yeah, he like wears full armor like whenever he has to present himself, so nobody actually knows what he looks like.
well, I just meant through the internet. You don't know what the player playing.
Oh,
looks
that's
like.
he's playing like digital Warhammer. I thought he was
Yeah.
playing like with the figurines.
Rue Misham killed in cold blood. By sender a 7-year-old letter, end quote. No, maybe something more second. Star falls after 7-year delay, end quote.
I mean, that's a little better of a headline for once. But...
That is actually a pretty good headline.
Order, order, order. I see no room for further argument here. Though I admit, this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp his ticket straight to afterlife, end quote.
Uh-oh, I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge.
Gotta start carrying a toothbrush. Oh wait, I have one in my beard.
Pulls it out. There's a face mask attached to it. From the bit at the beginning of the stream.
And like a baby bunny attached to that too.
When did this get here? Wait, is it moving? Oh crap.
That's a reference for a future bit. Like 3 games from now.
There's no Ace Attorney game 3 games from now.
I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant.
Apollo!
I think we
just won.
I think
Oh,
we
that's
just
you.
won. Trucy, that's my line.
I really do think we just won too, though.
Very well, this court finds the defendant guilty. Ha! I
Father,
tricked
do
you
you
all.
really think? Do you really think that his own daughter is gonna send him a? What can we check how old that girl would have been 7 years ago?
Also, wait, Judge, you don't have the right to determine if this person's guilty or not guilty. We have a jury.
Yeah, we have a jury system now. We gotta wait until the jurists come out.
What do you want to check? Her age, you said?
Yeah, do you think a 12-year-old is gonna acquire athroquinine, like wire $100,000 to her own dad, put in a toxic stamp, send it in the mail because it got stamped as it transferred in the mail properly?
Yeah.
A 12-year-old did that, Clavier. Is this what you're trying to say? I can't with this man.
You have a read a line, though.
Oh, sorry. I'm so aghast. I forgot I voiced him. Is this the bright future of our legal system?
Prosecutor Gavin.
A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets to Gavinier's shows are invalid after 2 weeks.
But it doesn't make sense any other way.
It boggles my mind that many people haven't noticed this.
Wait, we're playing Boggle now?
I love that game. There's a fatal contradiction in Airforehead's claim.
Contradiction.
A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now? If that's the case, then why would Drew Misham have done what he did?
Emma explained that. He must have realized it was poisoned.
Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham sensed a trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder?
Ah!
Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot. He put the murder weapon on a frame on his desk for 7 years and forgot? You expect us to believe he's spraying a trap on himself?
Wag!
Yeah, we literally just joked about that. Like that's so iconic that you would forget. Like,
I mean,
I could totally believe that.
He is 52.
It's also not our job to prove certainty, is to prove doubt. We have done so. She's
And
not
also,
guilty.
the judge doesn't rule this anyways, and there's some level of emotion involved because of the jury.
Yeah, so Clavier, you gotta stop grasping at straws, my man. You lost.
Well, I admit this is all quite shocking myself. It does seem highly unlikely that he would fall afoul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years.
Apollo.
I don't think we're winning anymore.
I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you.
Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in the envelope?
The poison stamp? Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed.
What about the atroquinine residue, huh?
Oh, I agree. That does seem to be atroquinine residue. But at foreheads, it's certainly no stamp.
Yeah, but...
Even if your precious poison stamp did exist, the Jumisham never would have used it. That is all.
Irk.
I believe we've come to a conclusion. Again.
Apollo, we're wrong the whole time?
I can't believe it. The poison traces match up. It can't be coincidence.
I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year.
It's been 1 day.
I know, right?
Mr. Justice,
Yes, Your Honor?
let's review the facts and see where we stand.
And realistically, if we cut out our jokes, it's been like, what, less than 2.5 hours?
Yeah, no, we're doing great for time.
Well, I'm saying in universe, he's complaining about how long the trial is.
7 years ago, Drew Measham received a red envelope. There are traces of the poison atroquinine on the document inside that envelope. A similar trace is also found in the crime scene. On this tiny picture frame, the defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of the crime with a poison stamp on it.
God, there's a lot of envelopes.
Yes, but even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, and Jumisham, knowing this, puts it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp.
I'm afraid you're right, which means there's a fatal flaw in the defense's case, which is also my favorite video game series.
Fatal flaw?
Yeah.
I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it. The traces of atroquinine, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Measham's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us?
The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. You've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense. It seems that one of our clues must be a fake.
A fake clue? Fascinating. And if we find this fake, your vile fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah?
The fake clue that's thrown us off the poison's trail is none other than... What do you think?
The fake clues that thrown us off the poison's trail is none other than... The fake clue... The envelope can't be fake because it's real. The frame can't be fake because it's real. Drew Measham can be fake because he's not real, apparently, based on my track.
Remember, Sherlock Holmes said...
I think it's Drew Measham.
Drew Measham?
Yeah.
Because he eliminated the impossible, and whatever remains...
Yeah. Whatever remains, no matter how...
Implausible.
Whatever, yeah.
No matter how implausible, must be the truth.
Must be the truth. Drew Measham, you're fake.
The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand.
You're the faker.
You're the fake artist around here.
I'll make you eat those words.
You're comparing yourself to me? You're not even good enough to be my fake.
The only reference I know in that quote is "I'm gonna give you those words."
That's the last line. But it's
Yeah,
also
that's
said
all I know.
at the same time of like two other lines, despite there only being two characters.
Yeah.
I'll explain. I swear there's at least one or two times in that game where a character talks over themselves somehow, so...
It's impressive.
We have an envelopee, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself.
Congratulations, you've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of the fake himself, the forger? It makes a good story, I'll give you that.
The fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. Ah! Sonic Adventure 2 Battle!
Yeah, I love that game, but I also know that face. That's the I just had an idea face.
I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake?
Come again?
7 years ago, our forger sniffed a... I swear I just read that as sniffed an asshole.
Oh, wow.
A side somehow moved up in my vision and changed.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god. 7
I
years
see that,
ago,
I can see that.
our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why?
That's you.
That's what I want to know. Sorry, I forgot. I just had a stroke. Again.
Judge, your line.
Because the forger who was killed was a fruit fly.
What? A fruit fly?
He had no memory.
Again, the victim was a fruit fly?
One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's two forgers. And one of them was a fake. And I'm not talking about the morning coffee.
Yeah. This is a weird train of thought. I would have never gone in this train of thought myself. So I guess I got to thank the games for not forcing me to have figure this out.
Order.
So you're telling us that Drew Misham, the victim, was a fake? Well, if he was a fake, who was the real forger?
I guess it's very fair that they didn't make you pick the evidence of the fake and have to like pick his profile, because who would have ever picked that
Yeah.
for the fake evidence?
Yeah. You better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo.
I love switcheroos. That's my favorite snack. I love the chocolate ones. But I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story.
Are you talking about the little animal crackers that you dunk in frosting? Or are you talking about the Girl Scout cookies?
Oh, I don't know what the Girl Scout cookies are.
I think they are the Girl Scout cookies called switcheroos.
Oh, I
And
was
then
talking
the
about
little
Dunkaroos.
animal- Yeah, the animal crackers you dip into frosting are Dunkaroos.
Yeah, Dunkaroos are great.
I've never had a Dunkaroo, but I imagine they are.
They still make them. You should get some.
I know, but now they're not little kangaroos anymore. They're little coins.
They taste the same.
I know, but it's like it's the whole tricks are now like balls instead of like fruits. Like my childhood.
Mr. Justice, show us just who the real Drew Misham was.
If Drew Misham wasn't the real forger, there's only one other person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. Forger Drew Misham was himself a forgery. The real forger was Phoenix Wright.
His daughter, literally the only other person. But like, it's wild to me that a 12-year-old could do like prodigy level art in any style.
I mean, it's recreating art. It's a very different type of talent.
Well, yeah, but like it's also like recreating like the pattern of the brush strokes, like the thickness of like the paint.
I guess they haven't established how good the forgeries are,
Yeah,
especially how good they were back then. But
Fair enough. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's her.
There can only be one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger known as Drew Misham is none other than his only daughter, Vera Misham.
And Clavier, if you try to say that it's wild that a 12-year-old is doing forgeries, it's wild that a 12-year-old killed her father!
Order! Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb, even for you.
I kind of agree. I mean, Vera? A forger?
Let's consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. This can only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger.
Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense.
One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's.
Ellipses.
If we know that Drew Misham wasn't the forger, then that leaves only one possibility by process of elimination. The forger was Vera Misham. Well,
Double ellipses.
to be fair, this logic is really dumb because his logic is, well, my theory doesn't make sense unless we assume that it's true, and then this is the only other way that it could make sense.
It's wild, but, you know, and in a real court, Vera would be literally right next to us. She could have confirmed or denied pretty easily.
In the Ace Attorney manga, the defendants are sitting in a chair next to the bench. The courtroom also looks identical, so like they use the same layout. Like
It's just like they just put them physically in the room, whereas like they don't in this game.
yeah, they're sitting on just a kind of crappy chair next to the defense. Like not at the desk, but
Yeah, just nearby.
they never talk because they're always like trying not to cry and stuff through everything. But like
That's fair. Fascinating.
Vera Misham. You've been paying attention to the trial so far?
Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger, Drew Misham?
was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring
Apollo.
holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face.
She's neurodivergent. Leave her alone.
Probably.
Is that an expression of emotion? Ugh. Like, if somebody told me that, I'd be so mad at them. Like, I notoriously, like, don't emote often unless I'm, like, consciously thinking about it. So, like, if somebody were to tell me that, I'd immediately just, like, be like, okay, great. Like, rude.
Well, did it... Oops. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to... He thought it. He didn't say it, so...
Oh, fair enough.
Also,
You're allowed to
skip
think
that.
things. Sorry, Apollo. You're allowed to think things. I'm used to being stared at by Fräuleins, believe me. Though they usually talk to me, too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Yes.
I love that she signs them, too. Her signature's in the corner. She makes a drawing, she makes a quick signature, and then she shows it.
She was taught well by her dad. Sign everything. I was taught that when I started drawing.
Even a simple smiley face.
Literally, I started when I started doodling. Like, people older than me were like, "You better sign that. It's gonna be worth money someday." And I'm like, this is just like one of those like terrible, like, you know how anime has like people drawing anime and it's terrible. It's like triangle faces and like enormous yaoi hands. It was like that. Like, people were like, that's gonna be money someday. You're so talented. And I'm like,
Listen,
I'm
people
like,
people buy
okay.
yaoi hands art.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, it's like literally like that Riku. That remember that I had as my profile picture for a while that Sora drew. It's literally that. I would draw stuff like that, and people were like, "Sign that. There's gonna be money someday."
So the forge of Drew Misham was you.
Oh, that's new. Yes, it was me.
What? What?
She's tiny. The court was in an uproar, and it wasn't coming down. Coming down? It wasn't. Oh, I get it. It wasn't coming down from the uproar.
Yeah, the uproar.
It wasn't coming down. We had to break for a 10-minute recess.
I forgot Tiny Kong's rap verse in the DK rap.
This Kong's got style, so listen up, dude. She can shrink in size to suit her mood.
This Kong got style, so listen up,
I don't know
dude.
why
She can shrink
bringing it
her
up.
size to suit her mood.
She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She can float through the air and climb up trees.
Really?
Yeah.
The only
It's-
one I
it's
remember
always-
is Lankies.
It was always hilarious to me because I'm like, she can climb up. They all can climb up trees. Why are you pointing that out?
Yeah.